The light that burns twice as bright burns only half as long, and you have burned so very brightly. Chapter 6 Season 3. The hell? This season's almost over already? That was super quick. We're now approaching the end of a season that was pretty super in many ways, ranging from gameplay pacing to cosmetic yassifying, and especially update industry planting, especially considering how dry summer seasons tend to be. Also, someone's saying this is like the best season 3 we've had in years, and I'm actually kind of inclined to agree. Like, this was a lot of fun this season, but there's like so much going on here. Like, where do I start? The main gimmick is you get to be your own superhero in Academy City. You get to be an OC in the Fortnite DC Marvel universe with your own power level or reputation level, something. The goal is to go from C rank cook to S rank boss and not be like all the other girls. You do this by murdering people, and by also doing a few other miscellaneous things, but mainly by murdering people.
What is it? That stench. I've smelled it before.
Does the rank icon really need to be that big? Every time you rank up is like Christmas morning. You're given a whole bunch of superpowers and boons that turn you into a god. You also gain access to new hero caches and doors that give better loot.
I hate doorways! Ban doorways from Fortnite! Please, Epic! We don't need them!
This has to be one of the most influential changes I've ever seen to a game ever since Halo fractured its community by adding sprinting. We've had big twists in Fortnite's history before, but this feels different. This feels like a genuine evolution of the game. You look at stuff like the car mods from Wrecked, the UFO minigame from Chapter 2 Season 7, those little reality saplings from Vibin, and other things. Those kinds of twists are like either completely gimmicky shit or just faceplant into the timeout corner. But the hero ranks feel like they genuinely enhance the core gameplay rather than just spicing it up with random junk that'll be gone after a few months. This is like when they added advanced mobility and made meds and shields usable while walking around. Because previously you mainly had to get lucky with your loot to get like actually good stuff. But now you can ascend by cranking out and killing people as quickly as you can. I imagine this promotes aggressive tactics quite a bit because like you can power spike really quickly and you can become the level 100 boss of the entire island if you're quick enough. I think it's a pretty great change to the gameplay because you get a lot of good loot and good boons by playing well. I think my favorite is this one that marks anyone who gets to jump on you. So like, it gives you one hell of a power fantasy pretty quickly.
I will burn like the brightest star.
You're gonna burn, alright.
Like, it's just that big and great of a change that some people might get upset and have trouble readjusting to the normal gameplay if it dips. It's not the first time we've seen situations like this before. You remember the Havoc Pump shotgun from Chapter 4? That thing made every other pump shotgun feel like a flaccid dildo. It took ages for some people to readjust.
I don't believe it!
There is no red dot AR in this loot pool. Thank God. That Holdo Twister shit needed to go, man. I think that's a refreshing change of pace. Like, having red dots dominate every loot pool they're in, that gets more boring than waiting in the MVR after a while. The Fury Assault Rifle is back, and while I always thought that was a good weapon on its own, this time around it finally gets to shine as an actually viable pick without that pesky Hollow Twister breathing down its neck anymore.
What did you just say? Looks like we got competition.
This new Spire Rifle, this is Fortnite's art team throwing you a curveball. Seriously, this thing looks out of this world, like it's out of this reality. I love it when new weapons go this rock hard on their visuals every so often. Take notes, Myths and Mortals. And it's not skin deep either. Like, this is actually a really good weapon as well. Like, it's kind of like an LMG in the sense that you can binge the MCU in the time it takes to empty and reload this weapon. Sick animation, by the way.
Nice.
It's kind of like an AK as well, because you can still do some serious work at long range if you just tap fire it. It's still got a lot of damage per shot, and the the blue is really snappy. Between the Fury and the Spire, I'd say the Spire is the better pick overall. But unlike the last few seasons where the Holy Twister just dominated no matter how many times you use a Time Stone, the competition between the Fury and the Spire is a lot more even this time around, since both guns actually have their own pros and cons. You got the Spire, which is better at long range and applying more persistent pressure because of its large mag. And you got the Fury, which is more all-rounded for close range and can do shorter but deadlier bursts of pressure. This kind of balancing where your choice is more subjective instead of which gun is objectively better, that makes for a healthier loot pool. You love to see it. But what if you do want to go the long mile? Is there anything here with a scope? Of course there is. It's the Dead Idea Mark. I think it's a pretty solid weapon for long range. I don't think it's as good as the IQA-11 that came before it, but it does still have the super fast projectiles and extra headshot damage that made the IQA so good. Also, there are no snipers or mammoth pistols raiding its home, so it can dominate the miles like the IQA did before it. Sort of. The Hyperburst pistol shits on the face of everything the Primal pistol ever aspired to be. It feels light and snappy, and overall it just feels great to use. It's exactly how we've envisioned a burst pistol in Fortnite to act like. Most pistols in Fortnite are normally just like loot pool filler or backup weapons you just don't really give a fuck about. They're normally just there as filler. This season I've been taking the Hyperburst over SMGs most of the time. It's just that cool. Speaking of which, the SMGs we do have in this season are the Veiled Precision and the Surge Fire, so basically the same as season 1. Honestly, this is probably the most irrelevant I've seen SMGs be in a season in a pretty long time. You know, with the Hyperburst pistol being the new kid on the block and both of the assault rifles actually making for decent SMG substitutes, there are simply very few situations in which to actually take one. In terms of which one is better if you need to take one, I think I prefer the Surge Fire personally. It's not the easiest thing to use, but it has its moments. The Veiled Precision is just kind of boring, honestly. Nothing new regarding the shotguns, we just have the Sentinel Pump, the Outlaw, and the Twin Fire. The story is the same as Season 2. The Sentinel is the best one, the Outlaw is only good at very close range, bit of a high risk, high reward weapon, and the Twin Fire is for people who want to play it safe. It's decent enough if you don't have anything else, or if you just want to play it safe. There are also these new sprites you can find just running around on the map. There's this Superman sprite, so you can be Carl Urban, the boys. The cool factor is enough for me to love this thing alone, but as an actual weapon, this thing is more inconsistent than Fox making X-Men movies.
Getting hurt.
There's also this orange sprite which gives you dashes when you pick it up and throw it, kind of like those ones from the Underworld in Chapter 5. The process is a bit clunky for my liking, but I'm sure the dashes may be somewhat useful. You don't get many. All in all, I think this is an awesome loot pool because of how well balanced it is. I think the best way to test this out for yourself is just going for a compact loadout with only a couple weapons so you can carry meds and other things. Most seasons there's like a rigid meta on what to carry and what not to when running a loadout like this. This season I feel like I'm spoiled for choice. There's no red dot bitching in the other weapons' ears so they can actually stretch their legs. The pistol feels great. The DMR does its job pretty well. It's a very good loot pool.
Finally, some good fucking food.
There is a slurp truck here. I want to get over here quickly.
I'm on my way.
Actually, I can pick you up. Oh.
That's right, I'm here.
Okay.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Betrayed.
Oh! What the?
Oh, what the
I
fuck?
am.
What the fuck, bro?
I'm so sorry. I was not expecting to destroy. I was not expecting to destroy that immediately.
I am very disappointed.
Do you have any special talents?
Oh, you thought I was done with the loot pool?
No. No, you're not. Not yet.
That was just all the normal weapons. We got a whole lot of superpowers to go over since it's a superhero themed season. When it comes to mobility, oh, we're hella spoiled for choice this season. I really like the base boost. I think that's like my favorite mobility item of the season. But when it first released, it was actually kind of like a mini Deku Smash of sorts. Because you could punch a hole through pretty much anything in any kind of builds. Like, You could give build players AIDS with this.
Genius play.
Unsurprisingly, it got nerfed real quick. It reduced the structure damage from 2000 to 245. Yeah, and that apparently triggered some Vietnam flashbacks for people to both the Rex season, Chapter 5, Season 3, and also when they nerfed both the Heavy Sniper and the Breacher shotgun back in Chapter 4. They absolutely obliterated the structure damage on both of those. Oh, these are now basically useless. They didn't even feel... Okay, so, first of all, the Rex flashbacks are just a testament to how much psychological damage that season did to everyone. Because nowadays, whenever Epic holds a nerf gun to pretty much anything remotely fun, people are gonna panic. Only for the nerf to actually be superficial and the item is still fun and viable. That's also what makes the base boost different from the Heavy Sniper and the Breacher shotgun. It still has a lot of uses for mobility and pushing people away like they got COVID. But go on, thought! The Heavy Sniper and the Breacher shotgun, on the other hand, lived and died by their structure damage. So attack their way, and then what are they? The Breacher shotgun is actually still pretty good. Oh, need something for rotating? Look no further than the Surf Cube. Because this is by far the best item here for rotating. You go really fast with this thing. But with that said, it's not very useful for combat or anything else, so only use it if you really need something for rotating. The Mist Form, on the other hand, is not efficient for rotating. Instead, this thing is more oriented for short distance tactical mobility, where you can use it to ambush your opponents, or if you're the one getting ambushed, you can use it to escape real quick. The wingshot grappler that you can get from Robin, that's just Jules' grapple gun, but reskinned. Finding people using this thing is not fun. Like I said, we're hella spoiled for mobility. Maybe too spoiled.
This hasn't happened to me often. I mean, it's happened a few times, like occasionally. But every so often, you'll come across a wuss who will just constantly roach out if you try and shoot and kill him, like Pirate Software did in World of Warcraft.
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
And with this treasure trove of mobility at their disposal, this season is essentially run like it's like the first time trouble paradise. It's not exactly fun to deal with these kinds of people, is it? At least not on a constant basis. However, this does connect back to my earlier point that people may become too used to how hero ranks intrinsically change the pace of the game and don't want to go back to the good old days. This applies to mobility items as well. This is part of why Wilds was so hated and why some people don't like playing OG. It feels too slow, even though that was the norm back then. Like, it makes you feel like you're on a fucking treadmill.
Back in my good old days, we had to run an entire marathon just to blow up a guy hiding inside a big wooden fortress with bits of stone and metal here and there.
I mean, it's pretty clear these days that you need at least 1 or 2 mobility items in the loot pool as a baseline, because having that bit of mobility there, it feels good and it benefits the gameplay, but like, you need fucking 4 or 5 on top of vehicles and wrists and everything. That's way too much, isn't it? Don't pack your bags just yet. We got more shit that isn't mobility related.
Kill me or release me, parasite. But do not waste my time with talk.
On the surface, the kill switch revolvers essentially look like dual revolvers. We've had other dual weapons in the game before, but the kill switch revolvers are more than just that. Because with these things in hand, you can live out your wildest Matrix Neo bullet time fantasies and shenanigans. Imagine we got Neo from the Matrix in the game. He would have been the perfect fit for these things. The tracking visor, I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise. This thing is a meta in the season meta. Just like we saw with the recon scanner back in Chapter 2, anything that gives you literal wall hacks is automatically an alpha male. The mist gauntlets are really quite simple to use. All you just gotta do is point and aim. So long as they don't get to cover, your target will be dead in 45 minutes. I'd say these make for a good shotgun substitute, but yeah, these things ain't great. But if you can find both that and the mist form, you can actually fuse them both into the first new item to Chungus 2 slots, since the chug cannon. The items themselves are still the same functionally, but they got a recolor that you don't need to spend your V-Bucks on, and they're both bound to one slot just for a bit of convenience sake. I'm not sure I'd recommend the extended mist personally because of how shit the mist gauntlets are. You're usually just better off having the mist form and running a shotgun instead. The crypto treat is a glorified junk rift. It's a very niche item that's only useful in a few specific situations, mainly in fields mode. Zero build, it's pretty much worthless. Their Storm Beast pom-poms are essentially a mini-me Infinity or Doom's Gauntlet. Fighting these things isn't that hard depending on the circumstances, but I wouldn't be surprised if some people are crashing out over getting killed by or mauled by these things. You also have to really alter your game plan around them if you're actually gonna use them, because you'll likely be beasted on a regular basis if you choose to use it. But all that said, these have been out of the game just as much as sand tunneling, so they haven't really been that impactful as they would have looked. Other than just hero ranks, there are also a bunch of other shenanigans going on around the island that you can dabble in. For example, the new floating island. You have to use a rip to get to it this time around. There's no wind gust or anything, or at least on the ground. But core isn't too hard to destroy if you got a long range weapon. The mythic DMR she drops is pretty gas, but she also drops a medallion that's just a nerfed version of the Shogun's medallion. That's how you know it's still worth picking up. Daigo's definitely harder to kill, but his mythic Spire rifle I think is definitely top tier. The medallion is just kinda there, not so much. Midway through the season, Superman popped in as a transformation, similar to Godzilla and the Star Destroyers from the last few seasons. When he first came out though, turns out they fucked him up! I didn't get a chance to use him in this state, but I mean, look at this video, look at this shit. This is Superman 64 level so atrocious. You might as well make me fly for some boost while I'm at it. He's supposed to be bulletproof. You'd literally be better off just running around like Carl Urban and the boys.
Holy fuck! That was diabolical!
He's not so super now, is he?
You are?
Yeah. I'm man.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
That said, it didn't take long for Epic to panic and buff Superman after this, get that kryptonite out of his body. And when I got to use it for the first time, wow, he could just solo anyone. If he finds you and you're alone, you're fucking dead, dude. Last but not least, the Spires. The small ones are kind of worthless, but the big boys are actually the only way to get the newest wave exotics. Because of that, these are probably the hardest exotics to get your greasy fingers on yet. Let's go over them, shall we? The Yoink Shotgun I've had the most hands-on time with out of all the exotics, and it's kind of interesting. The idea is you use one shot to yoink your target towards you, and then you dome in with the second shot. It definitely excels at fucking with your opponent's positioning to your advantage. The name sounds like a code name, doesn't it? Similar to the Voltage Burst Pistol. But here's something experts don't want you to know. You can also use this thing for mobility. There are only if you absolutely need to. You're gonna drag the island into an ammo crisis if you keep doing that. Crossfire shotgun, I barely notice a difference. The Thunderclap DMR is quite unique in the sense that only some of your shots will explode, rather than all of them. You might think it's just some thrift store e-waste version of the explosive red eye from Chapter 4, but that's not really the case. In fact, that limitation actually kind of works to its advantage, because like, it encourages you to actually lock the holder and actually hit your targets rather than just half-ass it like you would with most explosives. After all, it still does the same base damage as the base version, but any shots that happen to explode will add 40 damage on top of that. So like, at its best, this thing is worth getting a tattoo for like your girlfriend. Like, you're doing at least like 80 damaged body shots if your direct hits explode. And even at its worst, you're still getting the best of both worlds here. Shouldn't this thing be taking up 2 slots there?
Stop it. Get some help.
Bounce grenade? Yeah, it does little explosions with every bounce. Somehow bottle rockets returned. Obviously with how hard these exotics are to get, I can't quite say this with full certainty, but I'm pretty sure the DMR might be my favorite one here. Most of these exotics are good, it's just the grenade that's dog shit. Like, how is this useful? We've got a whole ass buffet of new and changed locations to party at, so let's take a look at them, shall we? The new Academy locations look genuinely beautiful, especially Utopia City. They got that eco-friendly utopian punk vibe to them, with all those curvy and sexy surfaces, and a lot of greenery everywhere. The glowing roads look so cool as well. Like, this place is just drop dead gorgeous, man. Supernova Academy in particular is one hell of a hot shop, I'd say. It's no tilted towers, but you can definitely expect a traffic jam here every game you want to land here. And it's not hard to see why. Because in addition to the same aesthetic as Utopia City, it's got a lot of loot here that's really easy to find, whether from all the NPCs that are squatting here, or all the doors that you can find down in the basement with all the hero caches and everything down there. There's also a grind rail there that launches you into the stratosphere if you sprint off of it. Hey, it helps with rotating, doesn't it? Then there's Demon's Domain, which is like the polar opposite of those two other locations. This place is so dark and gloomy, it would make Zack Snyder blush. And it's very imposing too, with just how massive that temple is. That's almost reaching the mountains nearby. What is this? Are we some kind of super? This is also where you square off with Daigo, as I mentioned earlier. Maybe if you come here as Kendall or Jade, you could kind of reenact the last act of Revenge of the Sith. Like the Fortnite version of it. The new bunkers around the map are thankfully not a repeat of the Luck of the Draw slog that was Chapter 5. You know, with how important those bunkers were to an integral feature of that chapter. But overall, they're not nearly as important as those bunkers were. There's just some mediocre loot in them, and they also have a rift for rotating. One of them is flooded too. So yeah, I love these new locations. The duality of man. Also, I'm very surprised by how much they've kept of the Star Wars locations from earlier. This is probably the closest we'll ever get to a Star Wars DC collab. I mean, they both appear in the same cinematic too. This battle pass is so much better than Lawless. It's got like actually appealing skins that make sense with the theme here. You take a look at Lawless, you're just hitting the randomize button on a character creator in a Lego game. Or if you want to go the extreme comparison, Concord.
Fuck you, man!
Actually, that might be a bit harsh. Lotus's characters aren't that bad individually. But let's get back on topic. Haley Sky is kind of nice, I guess. I think Synthwave is my favorite from this pass. She's cute. I love her colors and her hairstyle. Light Rider is cool too. I don't really like the denim jacket though, so I just avoid the casual style. Isn't it a bit interesting how all three of these girls have straight up crop tops, aside from Synthwave's casual style?
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
Killswitch is pretty cool, because he's kind of gas. I like the cybernetics. Morgan Mist is fine. And Superman looking real good here. And unlike the old one, he'll probably be available in 18 months for everyone to get, so that's great. Rango. What is his relation to Reverie? Realistically, I'm not really over the moon on how most of these skins look. Most of them aren't really skins I'd use on the reg. But this is still one of the more charming battle passes we've seen since Chapter 2 Season 2. It's a very good pass with actually interesting characters who have a significant role in the storyline here. Outside of the battle pass, there are also some other skins I'd like to talk about here. These Scorpio skins look fire. I really like the contrast between the poison green color and the black they got going on there. Plus those sharp, angular scorpion emblems. Omega Suit Alpha here kind of reminds me of that big robot Gort from the day the Earth stood still.
Who are you? I am your father, Cal.
Reboot Man is probably one of the most 5000 IQ crew skins I've seen in a while. He's got this very strong Iron Man vibe, but with still enough uniqueness as a Fortnite original skin. And Faye's got some really charming details to her jacket. Mercenary Core I definitely prefer to the other two versions of her. I wasn't really a fan of either of those two. So has the item shop situation improved from the last few seasons? Kind of? Okay, so I wrote that bit in the script like just before the end of the summer update, and yeah, Epic decided to lock the hell in with that one update, because wow, they got a lot of creative stuff here. Okay, they actually have improved. You love to see it. This new summer bundle is fire. Summer seasons are often pretty notorious for being drier than the Sahara when it comes to shitting out new content. And this often comes down to Epic just vanishing for 2 weeks around this time of year.
There's nothing.
Thank you, son.
But this time around, they did at least make sure to leave us some stuff in advance so that we wouldn't feel like SpongeBob stuck inside Sandy's dome for the long run.
Yes, I'm okay.
You're going on voting event over 2 weeks like Season 9's, that's pretty awesome. The Bounce Grenade and Thunderclap DMR being added, and Superman being playable. Also, this season is like only 2 months long? What, did Galactic Battle just take a bite out of it? But what about an actual summer event? Epic obviously hasn't really cared much about summer events these past several years, but they seem to be trying something new this time around, like a new tradition. Like with this second round of summer road trip quests, just like we got last year. Except this time we got an actually awesome car for once, instead of whatever the hell we got last year.
We do not speak his name.
Seriously, who the hell thought that was a good idea? Now this has been kind of a given ever since Chapter 5, but there is also a bunch of other stuff going on outside of Battle Royale that I'll just quickly skim over. Reload got a Squid Game themed map, also a reskinned Hyper SMG. Hey. There's Blitz Royale, which is just hero ranks after just snorting a line of the finest crack on the black market. Lego Expeditions and Brick Life updates. And OG reached Season 4. Perfect timing since both seasons are superhero themed. However, they did add one new core mode to Battle Royale, and that was Respawn Rumble, aka Training Grounds, whatever the hell you want to call it. Supposed to replace Team Rumble, if you remember that. I forgive you for not remembering. I'm gonna miss Team Rumble for sure, it was a real one, but I can understand why Epic got rid of it. Barely anyone was playing that mode, at least compared to Battle Royale where it's some shit. Plus, ever since the storm changes in Chapter 2 Season 7, it's just never been the same. The way Respawn Rumble works is just the end game of Team Rumble, except you spawn with full shield and random weapons, it's zero build, and it's fixed at one location. That's it.
Holy shit, what a fucking disappointment.
It is so goddamn mind-numbing to play, like, I feel like I'm running on a goddamn treadmill with my eyes dried out. I only made it through 2 matches before I just threw in the towel. The zero build aspect just doesn't make sense here, and there's just so many bosses that this mode just feels like garbage. I don't want to judge it too harshly, it does serve its purpose as a training ground for practicing with new or unfamiliar weapons and doing kill related challenges, but I think they could have just monetized Team Rumble and got a better game mode out of it than this. Literally. This season felt kinda dry at times, but also not with the updates. Overall though, I thought it was a great season. Maybe it could be the best in Chapter 6 so far. It had a genuinely interesting battle pass that had huge significance in the gameplay, likes of which we've rarely ever seen since Chapter 2 Season 2. The loot pool is amazing without any red dots infesting it like a goddamn Tyranid plague, meaning every weapon actually gets its chance to
burn like the brightest star.
The hero ranks really benefit the gameplay by encouraging more active strategies rather than just camping. But I also think they kind of risk diluting players' expectations since they're just that good. Who knows? Epic could drag them on for a while longer in some of the form after the season. But if they do that, it might make OG and the old ways in general feel worse. If they get rid of it right away, people are gonna get upset. Damned if they do, damned if they don't. But realistically, it'll probably just be a bump in the road and we'll be actually just fine. Hey, we survived having key chests ripped away from us, didn't we? Mobility, meanwhile, is a more objective issue. That definitely could dilate expectations too. And it's already allowing people to get out of jail free constantly, like it's the Purge. But here's a new angle. People are saying Super broke the Season 3 curse. But the question is, was there a Season 3 curse to begin with? I kinda think so, actually. Chapter 2 Season 3 I thought was the worst season of all time. Vibin would be like the second worst. It was just really mediocre. Whilst I don't think deserves all the hate it gets, it was still the weakest season in Chapter 4 for sure, but like, it still had a few really strong redeeming features that no other season had. You got Transformers and Mythic Drum Shotguns. Wrecked is more like the last Jedi of Fortnite than anything. You either love it or you hate it for all the new and different ideas it had. Imagine we get Exterminator ranks or some shit like that next season. Hey, if they had a Warhammer 40k collab, then that will automatically be the best season, at least with Chapter 6, and I will die on that hill.
You guys hear that? What the hell? What the hell, Wilson?
Oh my god!